All right, our topic is on the concept of recursion and its performance. I'm Matt Evanson.
My name is Sahu.
I'm Veronica Meza.
I'm Shihan.
Okay, so here are what we're going to go. To start off, we're going to talk a little about the history of recursion. The concept has been used since well before the 19th century. The word recursion actually comes from the verb recur, which means to return to a place or status. It also has been used in many different ways, from obtaining functions for the analysis of natural numbers to showing the basic functions can be defined by simple applications of the function. One of the first references to recursion was through mathematical meaning. Recursion was first used to the work of well-known mathematicians like Gödel, Hilbert, Skolem.
So, according to SOAR, computation is defined as a process whereby we proceed from initially given objects called inputs according to a fixed set of rules called a program, procedure, or algorithm through a series of steps and arrive at the end of these steps with the final result called output. So the procedure from above calls itself, and that's called recursive procedure. One problem that lends itself well to being solved recursively. Roberts and Zielinski, recursion is stated to mean any solution or technique in which large problems are solved by reducing them to smaller problems of the same form. So this works best when the subproblems are easy and they can be resolved without much more subdivision and can be combined pretty easily back to solve the original problem, like the factorial problem above.
Recursion has many different definitions. Here we will define three of them. First, recursion as a and next we can define recursion a second way. These definitions have in common that in recursive procedure, something is to be the same. Recursion entails that the non-terminal symbol on the left side of a rule repair on the right-hand side of the same or another rule. The property of the phrase structure rules to generate phrases of the same category. And the third type of definition of the recursion, wherein recursion is seen as some sort of the phrase structure.
I'm going to talk about the performance and types of recursion. Here we have 5 types of recursion. The first one is a linear recursion. Basically, the linear recursion we define as a recursive function calls itself in a simple manner and by termination condition it terminates. Linear recursion is the simplest form of recursion. This recursion uses a process called winding, and when it returns to color, the process is called unwinding. The right finger shows the process. The second one is binary recursion. A recursive function calls itself twice at a time. Binary recursion is mostly used in data structure. The third one is tail recursion. The definition is that a recursive function calls itself at the beginning or end. Tail recursion is the most efficient that the linear recursion method. It has one is mutual recursion. These functions, we can say the function call each other. For example, function A calls function B, and function B calls function A recursive. Lastly, the nested recursion, we define a nested function is a function which is defined with another function. In closing, we compare the recursion and iteration. The main advantage recursion provides is that it takes less code to write the recursive version compared to the iterative version. The code written in the form of recursion is more concise. Evaluate the running time and the space of recursion. We evaluate some measurement. This table, the results show that the factorial 1 is slower than factory. The reason is that the factory computes like 1 multiplied by 2, and then multiplied by 3, and then continue multiplied by n. But factory 1 computes n multiplied by n minus 1 first. That means factory does a calculation from smaller number than that of factory 1.
So in this paper, we investigated how differently recursion is perceived by different perspectives and research domains. We discussed the concept of typical recursion type and the performance of varying recursion.